Hey guys, and welcome to Star Wars Hour. I'm Rich.
And I'm D-Rock.
And we have some exciting news in the world of Star Wars today. No, but for real, there's actually quite a bit that happened this week.
Yes.
There's, we're going to go through them all one by one, I promise you, but I'm just going to list some of them off. There was the episode 9 leak on plot.
Yes.
There is the reviews for Solo, which the embargo ended today. So, forget about those old Twitter comments. Now there's full reviews out and some other fun stuff like...
which we will get to later.
Yeah. All right. D-Rock, why don't you send us off here? What's first?
Let's start with the boring things.
Oh.
I'm sorry. We can't tease them and then give it to them right away. That would be unethical as
Thanks,
a journalist.
Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah. So this is Peter Mayhew's advice to Jonas, or Jonas, however you want to say it. Is it Jonas?
I think it is Jonas.
Jonas Sutano.
Because I'm an expert. No.
Yeah, in all things Jonas. Anyways, he's the guy who's playing the new Chewbacca, and Peter Mayhew, if you don't know, was the old Chewbacca.
I hope you know that.
I've actually met him. Yeah,
Ooh.
Super nice dude. Side note to that. Anyways, he gave some advice to Jonas on how to play Chewbacca other than growl and wave your arms. The most important bit is to lead with your chest because Chewbacca is a very proud individual. Yeah, just like that. Now you nailed it. Now Rich is the new Chewbacca.
Except I'm like 3 feet too small.
Yes, very true. That being said, we also have some other kind of boring news, which is just kind of like an OG whiz thing, because we're leading up to Solo, and so again, with like the last couple weeks, all we're getting is like really big Solo news, and then like little nuggets kind of on other stuff. So the next one was Donald Glover actually sought out playing Lando. He didn't just,
he wasn't
hear about it and go
anything.
do it. Yeah, he wasn't asked to come out and do it. He sought it out, which we'll get to in a minute with the reviews, really speaks to why he played that part well.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get to that in a minute. The last little bit of kind of, gee whiz news is, I don't know, Jon? I can't say
Jon Favreau.
Favreau.
Director of Iron Man 1.
Yes.
2. The Jungle Book, the new Jungle Book, obviously. He wasn't around in the 60s to direct that old one. And soon he will be directing the live-action Lion King.
Yes.
I say live-action because it's all CG,
Yeah, it's
but
mocap and people dancing around.
Well, you guys know Jon Favreau. You guys remember him in Swingers back in the 90s, right? Nope, just me. All right.
Just you.
Anyways, yeah, so he, of course, is in charge of the new live-action show, which will be on the new, I was going to say Star Wars streaming service. No. Soon.
It's going to basically be that and then a couple kids shows.
Yeah, the new Disney streaming service.
Yes.
And he has confirmed that it takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, specifically 7 years after Return of the Jedi. So that means that's actually not boring. That's actually very exciting news, because that means could we potentially see like Luke's academy like in its full force?
I hope so.
With hopefully a very convincing CG Mark Hamill, younger Mark Hamill, or just get what's his name? Everybody keeps saying the Winter Soldier guy, Sebastian Stan.
Oh yeah,
who looks a lot like a younger Mark Hamill.
That would be fantastic.
Get him to do it. He could play the 40-year-old Luke Skywalker. Please make that happen, please.
Yes, please.
He's good friends with Jon Favreau because Jon Favreau still produces all the Marvel movies.
Yes.
So.
But that being said, more specifically on the timeline, it's 3 years after the Battle of Endor. He tweeted that it was 7 years after the Battle of Endor. That is wrong.
I was wrong on that.
He corrected. It's 3 years after the Battle of Endor.
Oh, well,
cool.
Maybe it'll end at 7 years after,
which is upsetting because that kind of indicates that it won't be in the underworld of Coruscant, which is what Lucasfilms was working on as their live action.
Oh yeah, we had mentioned before,
which is super sad because I want that more than anything. But it looks like they'll be showing us a lot more on just how the Jedi exist. Like,
well, it makes sense because Disney wants it to lead towards their version of the franchise.
Because they dumped all the canon. So that being said, for us gritty hardcore fans, might not be the most exciting thing to start, but I have a feeling if you get past that first season, like most live action shows, it's gonna be pretty good.
You can just grind me up and put me on your subway because I'm salt.
Yes, he is.
And salty.
Yes, he is. But that being said, I wanted to pat myself on the back for calling that all of these new things you're seeing that are episodic are all going on Disney's new streaming service. Say goodbye to Netflix. This is the beginning of the end. Disney now owns
Netflix
Marvel.
Is dead, dude.
Yeah, Disney now owns Marvel. Disney now owns Star Wars. They own all of Pixar. The
soon maybe Fox, and if that Comcast deal doesn't go through.
Yes, yeah. So it's becoming. I don't know what Netflix is going to have other than it's going to be this repository for older movies.
It's happening already. Netflix is just a sludge of B level horror and some other crap. You know, it's like all of the good stuff is exiting. You know.
Yep.
It's all going to be on the Disney service, which is going to be like $20 a month.
Oh, it's going to be insane. However, if this stuff is good and they're going to do the live action or a movie with the two guys from Game of Thrones.
Oh, right. That's going to be a series, I think, of movies.
And that's going to be, hopefully, if it's a series of movies, we'll see it. If not, it's going to be on the Disney streaming service. Also, Disney streaming service, not trying to hype Disney too much, despite how much I love them. All of the Star Wars movies are going to end up on the streaming service.
See, I think that the game. This is just my theory. I think that the Game of Thrones guys, B.D. Weiss and whatever the other guy's name is, I think that they are making Star Wars movies, but they're doing them for like $50-60 million a piece, like cheaper Star Wars movies that will be made specifically for this streaming service. That's what I think. And then the movies that what's his name we're working on, the Last Jedi director, can't remember. Nope, not JJ.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Some of you
it was JJ and then became Ryan.
Sorry. Ryan Johnson, he's directing movies and those will go to theaters. Yeah. That's my theory. So theaters with Ryan Johnson and then straight to...
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they'll probably... and there's no way. They would make so much money just releasing it in the theaters.
I was personally a little confused on this because there's been conflicting reports the last couple days. Is the Obi-Wan spinoff confirmed or not? Because I've seen it's confirmed, and then like, oh, no, that's a lie. No, wait a minute, it is confirmed.
I found nothing on it in my research. There's no reputable resource saying like you're not
just more rumors.
Wired. Yeah, it's more we're gonna have it, we're not, we're gonna have it, we're not.
Kathleen Kennedy was supposed to announce what the next spinoff was after Solo last year at Celebration, and it didn't happen. So but the reviews, and we're going to get to these in just a second for Solo, I think that we will hear an announcement like within the month after Solo comes out on what the next spinoff movie is going to be.
Yes, and before we get to those, I wanted to talk about the other bit, which is insane, but it's probably already ruined, and Rich can be that salty bit in a bit, or salty portion in a bit. Episode 9 is ruined! Everything's out online! It's doomed! We're doomed! No, it's actually not that bad. Some individual who's been fairly accurate on Reddit, just with his own analysis and his leaks of plot points, said he was in a early storyboard for episode 9 and indicated that apparently all the major plot twists have been leaked, and he typed up kind of his summary of it, and then a few agencies online have pulled it apart and said the big bits. The most important one is Carrie Fisher was either supposed to or is going to play herself somehow and have this insane role to like save
Right, which is why
I'm not going to say anymore because the rest of it's spoiler.
Right, that's why this kind of proves that this was from an early draft. So, guys, I don't think anything's really been leaked or been spoiled because I'm pretty sure this was from an early enough. This was from a version before Carrie Fisher died.
Correct.
I think that this was like Colin Trevorrow's script of episode 9 probably. But now JJ is directing episode 9 and Carrie Fisher's dead. I think we're going to be looking at a completely different story for episode 9. So honestly, I don't think we have anything to worry about there. Yeah. It's nothing real has been spoiled, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think you might see some of the little stuff, like you'll end up seeing like Carrie Fisher play a role, or you might see some more on Rey's parents or her family. Like you might see stuff like that, but with the specific releases, the leaks that happened with this episode 9 leak, I think those exact points will not occur just on a factual basis because they haven't even started filming. They're going to start filming in July, and they have plenty of time to fix the holes. If it's already actually leaked, they're just not going to do it.
Yeah, so. That's the other thing. If anything that was leaked is something they were planning, it's going to be changed now. Because it's been leaked. That's why it's just like I hate it when people leak stuff. It's like, well, you've just messed up the movie now, right? Because they're gonna have to change everything so that it's not leaked. So congratulations, you've ruined the movie for everyone.
Yeah, or they leak it, they do it anyways, and then the moment comes and it's wildly better than you've ever could imagine because you're actually watching people act. So,
yeah, I would hope so.
That's always been my thought.
Anyway, so are we now going to get into
So
the
now
solo
we're going,
reviews?
because this is what we're going to spend most of our time on, the solo reviews that have occurred. Do you just want to talk for a minute because you've read them all?
Okay, yeah. So what's going on here, guys? And again, we're not talking about the little tweets that they were allowed to tweet out right after the critics saw the movie on Thursday night, last Thursday night. That was what they were allowed to do, but the review embargo ended today. And of course, if you're not familiar with an embargo means you're not allowed to give a detailed summary or review of the movie until the embargo lifts. The embargo lifted today, so everyone is now has their reviews online, and I would say I've read many of them, and I would say that most of them do seem positive. We can see that Rotten Tomatoes has already collected all of the reviews, and they're at a
73%.
A 73%, which isn't terrible.
No.
And it's pretty up there. But if you actually, again, it's Rotten Tomatoes. It's they kind of, the way that they combine them is kind of eh. If you actually read the reviews, all of the critics actually enjoyed the movie. Mm-hmm. They just thought, oh, maybe the first 20 minutes were a little slow, or it's not going to be your favorite Star Wars movie. But everyone's like, this is really fun and exciting, and actually has a couple of really cool twists. Yeah. I think I read one review where the guy was like, I don't like it. We didn't need this movie. It's like, well, yeah, but is it a good movie on its own? So I think that this is going to be the opposite of Last Jedi. I think that critics are going to be kind of on it, and fans are going to love it. That's what I think.
I think fans are going to I think it's going to be split like The Last Jedi, because that's just the nature the fans are right now.
Sure, yeah.
I think you're going to have an outcry of people who hate it, and then the majority of people who aren't going to post comments online are going to say it was great.
You're right. Some people are just going to hate it because it's Disney Star Wars. They're like, well, on principle, I have to, even though it's actually good.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that all the critics came to a consensus on was that like the first 20 minutes were rough. Probably because that's the original stuff they shot, and then it picks up and it kind of finds this groove, and Lando really takes the center stage, and Alden Ehrenreich probably worked it out.
The movie has a big thing to do at the beginning, because it's like we already know who Han Solo is, but they have to introduce us to this naive and unexperienced Han Solo. So I think the beginning might be slow to these critics because they're trying to build up a character that they already know about. It's like, oh, so this is why he's this, and this is why he's this, and so I can kind of see how they might think that's slow. But I'm actually very interested to learn all of these things, even though I feel like I've already learned all of Han Solo's backstory from the original EU. It's like we have to learn them all over again because things are different now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think inherently it'll be interesting. I have a feeling as far as the plot goes, it's going to be underwhelming. I don't know if we're going to get anything big out of it as far as like, oh, this really changes who the character of Han Solo was, and now I feel that he, maybe he really was this. I don't think we're going to get any of that. I think that's going to be...
I don't see it anywhere on our board up here, but I did read somewhere that Harrison Ford actually really enjoyed Alden Ehrenreich's performance of the character. And then I did read another review that said, for all of the worry and everything, he feels like, you do get the sense that he is just a more naive and unexperienced version of Han Solo, and that by the end of the movie, you're going to feel like, yeah, this guy could maybe turn into him at some point. I don't think he ever quite gets there, or something like that.
Maybe because they're hoping this movie does well and they're still trying to queue up another one.
Yeah,
because they have, as we talked about 2 weeks ago,
the contract.
They have them for 3 more.
I have a feeling that the secret plan was to always do 2 or 3 of these solo adventures.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And they're just going to do it anyway.
And they're kind of they're kind of backing off because they want to see what people think. I do think we should expect maybe 1 more.
At least.
We'll see.
At least.
I would rather have that Obi film, though. I want that Obi-Wan movie.
Well, and we'll have to see. They might do all of them. And they've been bringing in all of these different directors so everybody could have their hand in making a Star Wars film. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I've been enjoying that, especially with Kathleen Kennedy at the helm. Props to her and what she's doing because she's making Disney a lot of money, which is literally her job. But I just as far as a canon and just where the focus has been, I have not been enjoying it. I think that all the different directors coming in and getting their shot at making a movie is going to make it feel really disjointed. Just as far as if you were to do what you did with if you watch 4 through 6, it feels really well, much the same, kind of flows well. If you watch 1 through 3, flows well, feels the same. But they had this breakup because JJ didn't want to finish his trilogy. Now Ryan's gonna have 3, and then you have all these other people coming
whatever
in.
You think of the prequels feel like they're part of that same thing, like you said.
Yes.
7 and 8 already feel different from each other, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. So I really hope that episode 9 kind of brings
Well,
those back.
and I think where they missed their opportunity was they didn't tell enough of a story in episode 7. I didn't feel like there was much of a story almost at all.
Well, you can blame J.J. Abrams for that.
I don't, and
Anyway.
everybody knows here, I'm not a huge fan of JJ, and I apologize. Only kinda. Yeah.
Anyways, so spin-offs, Star Wars, you know, it's funny because I know that, you know, if you're like me, if you're a fan of Star Wars, there's a really good chance you're a fan of Marvel too, just because you're into fun, nerdy things. Man, Infinity War. Have you seen Infinity War yet?
No.
Oh my god.
You're supposed to talk about that on none
I
of these.
don't
We
have a Marvel
platform
show
for that.
I've been considering a Marvel. There's 3 Marvel movies a year. I should maybe do a Marvel show.
I mean, you could do a Marvel review.
It would just be me. You know?
Why are we talking about Marvel on the Star Wars half
all
hour?
I want to say is that Infinity War was so good. I think it just put every other franchise to shame.
What? No.
It was. I think
All I have to do is queue up Rogue One, and you would get wrecked. Rogue One is my bar for future Star Wars things.
Yeah, it's true. But dude, I don't know, dude. You got to see Infinity War. It was just like the best.
Well, as we know, it isn't Ulysses.
Inside jokes.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, speaking of all these Star Wars spinoffs, last week we asked you guys what kind of Star Wars spinoff with all these rumors and everything. What Star Wars spinoff do you guys want to see? I was going to kind of go through.
Yeah, we got one right here from Philip Beyer.
I think it is pronounced, but he actually said one time it's pronounced Beyer. Yeah.
Oh, Beyer.
The spinoff I want most is Kenobi, but a close second would be Darth Plagueis and/or Palpatine. I'd be cool with the Boba Fett spinoff too. We were almost going to get one. And then his question is, would you rather have... Oh, he has a question for us.
Yes.
Would you rather have a Knights of the Republic come back in a movie, TV series, or a remake, remaster of the game? The answer is everything.
Yeah, but remaster the game. If I have to pick one, that would be amazing. You don't even remaster it, just like keep going with it.
I think part of the problem is that BioWare's not allowed to remaster it at right now for some reason.
Well, because Disney owns everything. It doesn't matter. Like Lucas can... Sure, Lucasfilms can still give out the rights to some of their stuff, but Disney owns it. They're such a heavyweight. They could just say, "Well, we don't like that. We're Disney."
I would love to see a full-fledged remake of Knights of the Republic.
That would be amazing. Or a reskin. Just update the graphics.
I think it's a shame that after the whole Fantastic Four Josh Trank scandal that they just canceled the Boba Fett spinoff completely. It still bothers me because look at all the problems they've had with Solo, and that project still kept going.
Everything, yeah.
So I don't know. I think they should have kept going. In fact, there's no reason to think. This is my opinion. There's no reason to think that Josh Trank couldn't have made an awesome Boba Fett movie. All the problems that were with that Fantastic Four movie were actually not his fault at all. But that's for another
time. Another never. Do you want me to read off hockey songs?
Yes, please.
So the answering of our question, which was what spinoff would you like to see? Hockey Song says, this may sound stupid, but I would say a Darth Vader film. We had 1 through 6 of Vader. I get it. But what I mean is that this film should be about how Vader's inner demon, Anakin. Oh, just about it. About Vader's inner demon, Anakin. The film would be about Vader sent to kill Governor Tarkin's son to try and manipulate Tarkin into fully committing... Yeah,
commuting himself?
No, I think it's...
Does he need a bus?
I think it means committing. Committing himself to the Empire Wall. On that mission, he gets a vision of Padme and how he failed to save her. Revenge of the Sith was about how Anakin Skywalker turned into Darth Vader, letting his inner demons to expect that Anakin Skywalker is now Darth Vader. Also, like to point out that if it does happen, then the final scene should be Vader going to Padme's tomb and saying goodbye to her as Anakin and leaving as Darth Vader. I think that's...
The Tarkin novel actually did all of that really well, and I think that's where it should stay, personally. Sorry.
Well, is the Tarkin novel canon still?
Yeah, it's still canon. Still canon.
Okay. Then I think that's probably where it'll be done.
Tarkin was all in. He didn't need convincing. He was all in.
I don't think, Hockey Song, to speak to your point, I don't think they're ever going to go back to that. No. They've taken Kylo and moved on, which is neither here nor there, but that's a good idea for a spinoff. Your question was, if you had a choice of living in either the MCU or Star Wars universe, which one would you choose?
Well, I will say, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I would say it's actually probably safer to live in the Star Wars universe.
Well, I was going to say it's safer to live in the Star Wars universe anyways, because all I would be is a human amongst a bunch of gods. So I'll take my Star Wars chances. Give me a blaster.
Yeah.
Let's rip it. And then Sean Last, which I want to give him props for, because this is what gave me the idea to talk about all the directors, the different directors being in this. What is with all the directors having a crack at Star Wars? I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. I think they're trying to find their groove. I think this is Disney's way of giving people a chance, kind of getting everybody on board, and everybody
you get
can
a
have
Star
their
Wars,
movie.
and you get a Star
Yeah,
Wars.
everybody can have their.
They should give me a Star Wars.
Yeah, they could give us a little little each, and then so Bobby Dog 66. Do you want to read that one?
Okay, now a question I can legit answer. I don't want it on a character. I want it on the Rogue Squadron's adventures.
Ooh,
I know Mark is old, and the guy who physically played Wedge wants nothing really to do with Star Wars, but recasts and separate characters are a thing, and there is a lot you could do with Rogue Squadron missions against the Empire's secret weapons and bases, find out more about the Moff's hierarchy and troops, maybe even set up some stuff that could come into play in later mainline Star Wars movies. It'd be neat. I agree.
I agree.
I love the Rogue Squadron games.
Yes.
I've read all the Rogue Squadron novels, even though most of them aren't canon anymore. I would love to see a movie that just focuses on Rogue Squadron. That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be
Well,
absolutely amazing.
I doubt they'll do it, though, sadly.
Yes, and so
Is that it? I think
yeah, that is all we had for this week. As far as the news goes, that's I'll read off a summary of what we had so everybody can see and have it fresh in their mind. Apparently, episode 9 has been entirely leaked and all things are lost. Then we had I can't
Jon Favreau.
Thank you, Jon Favreau has indicated that his live action series, which is coming to exclusively Disney streaming service,
3 years after Return.
3 years after the Battle of Endor. Peter Mayhew, his vice to Jonas, was Stick Out Your Chest. That's Chewbacca. And then we had Donald Glover really wanted to play Lando. It was a slow news week in Star Wars because guess what's coming up? Solo. We're going to be back here with a full spoiler review 2 Tuesdays from now.
Yes. And here is your question for this week. And please leave your answer in the comment section below after you give this video a thumbs up. So guys, if there was any character in the Star Wars universe, comics, movies, whatever, and I'm not talking about a small character, it's this character has to at least have a few lines. Name one character that you would like to be decanonized, like gotten rid of, and I have a feeling I know what most of you are going to say, but one character has to be erased from all of Star Wars. Who is it? Who's going to be erased?
Trooper
from Star
number
Wars?
5. Trooper number 5 who hit his head on the door.
Oh, yeah.
And ruins the immersion. Just ruins it.
But no, I want to hear really good answers. Don't just, I'll just say it. Don't just tell me Jar Jar because Jar Jar sucked. I want like an actual good explanation for why this character either like has no purpose or like, was just stupid. Yeah. But I want some explanation, guys. I want some juicy bits. All right. So that's your question. Who needs to be gone from the Star Wars universe? And with that,
and feel free, because this is the part I like, but I wasn't here last week. Feel free to add one of your own questions to your answer, because I really like answering your questions.
Okay, good. Yeah. So. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the Star Wars half-ish hour this week. Like I said, leave a comment, give this video a like, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified, and tell all of your friends to subscribe right here to the Rich Alvarez channel. We will see you guys.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. Rich, you forgot to plug everything. We have our Discord. We have our Patreon, which has been revamped. Me and Rich are going to E3.
We are going to
the
E3.
crew, so there's going to be some new stuff coming up on the channel. There'll be some Facebook stuff as well, so subscribe to the Facebook. We are back, baby.
Look at
Rich always just likes to sign off. I want to remind you guys that we are still here, and we are still here for you.
It's all there in the description, guys. Most important things, Discord. Get on that Discord if you're not already, and jump on that Patreon because we love you and we need your support.
And now we're going to wait for 20 seconds as you see our things scroll across the screen.
Oh, look at that. Is that next week's episode? No, that's last week's episode. Oh, look, what's this? Oh, is this is where you subscribe?
Yeah, is it?
It's right. It's over here. This is the green dot for Rich Alvarez, and then this is last week's video. It's over your face.
Is it our video, or are we gonna do Black Cat again?
He's showing up.
Bye, guys.
Bye.